Or
Sure. Yeah. So the last Rev2 review with Aaron, he was talking about with Elfel. Like, you don't have to worry about figuring out all the Oki setups and like the unblockable loops and all that stuff, right? Just kind of figure out the character.
Yeah.
Get a feel for her. I think for Millia, it's the opposite. I think to play this character, I mean, she's the Oki queen, right?
Yep.
If you're gonna play this character, you want to run the Vortex, and to do that, you really have to have like a solid one-player game. Right? You have to be able to get the knockdown, set the disc, TK Bad Moon, do the combo, and all that stuff. So I think that's one of the most important things to kind of get started.
Yeah.
And to find some success with the character, right? Because if you're not doing that, if you're getting all the hits and the knockdowns and everything and can't convert, and you're not looping your set play, you're not gonna win, right? She can't do huge damage. She kind of has to open you up multiple times to kill you. So being able to have a good handle on how to do that is really important. I think there's like 3 execution barriers that people run into usually when they're doing this. The first one is dash disc input, which is 2366H. So you don't dash first and then do the disc.
Right.
Really slow, right? So you buffer the dash input with the disc input at the same time to get that short dash disc. So that's kind of the first one. The second one that people run into is TK Bad. I think a lot of these are not that hard, but if you've never done them before, they can take some time to get down.
Yeah, absolutely.
TK motions took me a while to learn when I was first learning them, right? TK Badman 2 is also kind of weird because you can't technically do it instantly. I think there's a couple frames after Millia jumps where the bad movement input won't come out. Like if you've ever seen Millia do like super jump P,
Yeah.
that's usually an indication that they try to do TK Bad Moon and did it too early.
Right. Yeah, most moves in this game have a minimum height that you can do for like, or most air moves, right? Like not all of them. Like I can't do Chip's Shuriken at like a very, very low height, right? But I can do Alpha Blade, and if you take TK Alpha Blade, it's like that was off the ground.
It looks
right?
like it's on the ground.
Yeah. So yeah, whenever just a standard advice for anyone playing this game, even if you're not playing Millia, in general, when you're doing like very quick aerial special moves, we call them Tiger Knee special moves, but that reference is older than most fighting game players at the moment. Just keep in mind that there has to be a delay between when you press up to jump and when you finish the special move motion and press the button to get that special move. All right, so Adapt telling us... Yep.
Oh, sorry,
real ahead. Quick, in chat, Adapt has let us know that the minimum height requirement is 96,250. I don't know what Guilty Gear uses.
What units?
Yeah. Is like... Yeah, I don't know what unit that is, but it's like... It's about knee height, right?
Seems really a really big number to be just off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I do TK Bad Moon, I usually double tap my P input. So at least if I'm too early, or too late or whatever, at least one of those inputs is going to get the
right.
right.
And you're not really at risk of getting anything else there, right? She doesn't have like a 236P on the ground, right?
No. The worst risk is getting super jump P.
I see. That's I mean, obviously you miss your Oki, maybe you die, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think at worst you die, but a lot of times if you have an Oki setup and you get second and they block it,
I see.
On, right? So you're gonna have to go work for that hit again.
That's interesting. With Chip, there's an OS to cover fucking up TK Alpha Blade, and it's just you hit punch and slash at the same time. And the way the input priority works is either you get the TK Alpha Blade or you get Resho. Which actually is not that bad, right? If you fucked up a TK Alpha Blade and you get Resho, like that might still hit if it's in a combo or something.
Or at least they block it or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You're not flying in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, last, execution thing I think is go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna go back to something you said earlier, which was like you were grounding Millia in like you learn the set play first and then you do the other stuff. I cannot agree with this approach more for this character, just because her tools make almost no sense on their own. Millia is
like, what is this for?
Yeah, no one ever knows what the fuck the hula hoop is for until you see the mix, and then you're like, oh, that's fucked up. And all her shit is so delicately arranged to give her mix on only the really good knockdowns, right? Or like her pokes suck. Her buttons are not that useful. They don't immediately lead to stuff the way that like a Soul or a Kai button immediately leads to stuff, right? You can tell that she's fast, but she doesn't hit as immediately hard as a Chip or a Jam, right? And so whenever I see new people pick her up because they think, oh, she's cool, she's fast, she's got the double air dash, the mobility seems really neat, and then they try and play her and it feels like just that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know how to do stuff with her, right? Absolutely, with this character, learn just the basic fucked up Oki shit first, because that's what makes everything else in her kit make sense.
Yeah, your hits mean nothing if you don't do this.
Yeah.
Into a Unseeable 50-50. But yeah, I'm probably going to talk about that stuff a little bit more later.
Sick. All right.
But the last execution thing I think most people end up having trouble with is the JD air dash cancel part of her combos, which is pretty much a requirement. But I think the issue is that there's a lot of hit stop on JD, and people are trying to IAD like they're on the ground, and if you do that, you're just going to get a jump cancel. So you kind of have to delay it a little bit, get a feel for how much hit stop there is. But in the end, all of these kind of execution requirements, I don't think are that hard. They're relatively simple. It's just a quarter circle forward with an extra forward at the end, right? But being able to do all of these consistently, right? You've seen me many times miss my dash disc input.
Yep.
In like a game-winning situation, and I just die. It's really important to be able to do all that stuff really consistently too, to be able to run her game plan.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, every Guilty Gear character requires a certain amount of consistency and will reward you for like doing the harder thing. But I can't think of a character that is quite as a sharp difference between when you're doing the thing right and when you fuck it up, right?
Oh yeah. If you fuck it up, you just don't get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out. You get this or something.
Yeah. When her stuff is on point, everything feels really nasty and unstoppable. But the moment the Millia player, it's never a problem with Millia, right? Millia, the character, is perfect. It is the people who play her who do not do her justice. Except for when they do, right? When you get the Rangers or the Nakamuras and you're just like, oh, Jesus, this character's fucked up, you know?
She is fucked up. And yeah, with the Oki setups, I mean, you don't have to do anything fancy to start out with. Like just being able to do like either TK Bad Moon or Hair Car as your mix.
Yeah. That's
like day one mix, and it's just as effective at any level as it is day one, right? Like this is TK Bad Moon is 16 frames if done perfectly, right? That's not reactable.
Yeah.
You're not reacting to this. And then Hair Car, she jumps into the air for the startup. Like if you're not looking and paying attention well enough, they look the same.
Yep.
And if you have to guess with this thing on you, what I just did, it's pretty hard.
And which
in
terms of
the first thing I think.
In terms of the basic Oki, like which knockdowns do you mostly go for like a TK Bad Moon or Hair Car for?
I'll save that for later.
Okay. Then go ahead with whatever you wanted to do.
I will be talking about that.
Sick.
Let's see. Next thing I think Millia should learn a word. I think movement is really important to have or be comfortable with this character. She's really her main thing is, aside from the Oki, right, is being super fast.
Yeah.
She's second fastest run speed on the ground. She has a double jump and an air dash, or two air dashes at the same in one jump. She has turbo fall. She has roll. She's really mobile, right? And like you said, her buttons, like in a vacuum, her pokes are okay. They're pretty good. Like Far Slash is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's 7 frames. It reaches pretty far. 2D is amazing. It's a low crushing low that gives you your knockdown into Oki. But if you compare them to like the rest of the cast, they can be beaten out by a lot of stuff, right? They can't, like Millia versus Chip especially. Like Chip has better buttons than Millia. She can't really compete with him directly, right? She's just gonna get like if you 2S, your 2S will probably beat my Far Slash.
Woo! Okay. There we go.
Yeah, it'll if we trade, I stack it.
Yeah, I think the big thing about my 2S is that it's got long range and it staggers on counter hit. That's the reason I do it more often than not, right? Yeah. Is because I want the situations where we trade to work out for me.
Exactly. So her buttons are pretty good, but a lot of characters' other buttons beat her buttons, right? So she has to be able to use her movement to get around stuff, to evade stuff, to put herself in good positions to whiff punish, right? Like being able to dash and then air dash at someone to whiff punish something, or like using her air movement, I think is really important to be comfortable with, right? She has double jump and air dash, or 2 air dashes at once. So kind of understanding how to really use that to your advantage. Like the golden rule of anti-airing in Guilty Gear is like wait till they expend all their air options, right?
Yeah.
But Millia has like 10. Not 10. She has a bunch. She can jump back, she can air dash you. It's hard to tell where she's gonna be at any given time.
Yeah. Even hairpin is basically an air option, right? Because
hairpin is really important.
Yeah.
Like just the threat of her having it is huge, right? Like if I'm gonna jump at you, are you gonna try to anti-air me where
No, I'm gonna jump and block and try and air throw you or some shit, yeah.
Yeah. So like her buttons are good, they're serviceable, but you need to really use them in addition or in conjunction with her movement, right, to really be effective.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, pin kind of amplifies that kind of air game movement that she has, right? There are a lot of. Can you switch to May real quick?
Sure.
There are a lot of buttons that like Millia can just not contest directly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if she tries, she'll die, right? But that's what she has pin for. So May 2D is like one of those buttons that people can just kind of throw out against Millia, and if she tries to contest it, she'll kind of explode, right? Do like jump and then do 2D when you land.
She just sticks that out. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
Right? I can try to 2D it. I like that one.
You can whip punish it, but even then it's
even if you like if you're too late or too early. Like,
yeah,
this is one of Millia's best buttons, right?
She just fucking like sticks that fucking the fucking Tim out.
Yeah,
like look at that.
The leg out. So this is like a button you just can't contest on the ground.
Yeah.
You can't poke it with any of your good pokes. So for those moves that Millia can't really contest easily on the ground, she has pin. Like pin, I guess this is kind of the next point, but pin is like a lot of people say, oh, it's like free neutral skip, right? You just throw it, pin to win. Mm-hmm. But she only gets one.
Yeah.
She only gets one, and it's really important for her knockdowns, right?
Yeah.
Like in 2.1 or 2.0, Rev 2.0, that's how she gets her knockdowns. She doesn't have haircut very well. She has to throw the pin to get the knockdown and rebuild. That's great. If Millia is kind of just throwing pin out haphazardly and they can't get it back, like what are they gonna do? And if you're May, you just sit on that thing and press 2D. What are you gonna do? So I think pin usage is really important to kind of learn. Mm-hmm. Not really throwing out randomly, but using it to really target things specifically, right?
Yeah.
If you're sitting there and 2Ding, instead of trying to run up to you and poke you or something, I'll just throw pin at you.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you can hit it, maybe air dash, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. But having, I guess, reserving pin for when you really need it or when really good time is to use it is, I think, not just.
And
you
how
throw
much?
it out randomly, you better have a plan to get it back. Right?
And yeah, I guess before we get on that, and I'm excited to see how that goes. But how much of your pin usage is matchup dependent?
I think personally it's probably matchup dependent. I'm personally pin. I don't throw it out a lot randomly, unless it's like end of the round. I need one hit to win. Or like I'm tilted or something, right?
Yeah.
Usually I'm saving it for knockdowns or I'm saving it for pressure.
Okay.
Or if I find something really obvious that I can't deal with, I'll try to pin it. Or if someone's like, if I'm gonna be jumping around up here and someone's, I'll just wait, right, and then throw a pin at me when they try to anti-air.
Yeah.
So I usually try to be specific and target stuff with it.
Gotcha.
But I mean, sometimes I'll just throw it out.
Okay.
Right. If you're gonna throw it out, I think air dash H pin. So she has two different pins, right? She has S pin, where she kind of
that's the one where she pops up a little bit.
Upper momentum stops.
Yeah.
What was that?
That's the one where she pops up a little bit, right?
That's S pin. No, she just kind of stays where she is.
Okay.
H pin, she kind of pops up.
Yeah. There we go.
So air dash H pin will always kind of put you right on pin, whatever. So if you want to just kind of throw out a YOLO pin, that's probably the way. If you're gonna approach. S pin, it's gonna be over there. If it misses, you gotta try to get it back.
And like the screen space that you're throwing these in your approach is roughly where I would start like trying to anti-air with something juicy, like a 6P or a 6H.
When I'm right here at the peak of my jump, that's when it's like, oh, he's jumping at me.
Yeah. Woo!
It staggers on counter hit, which is what really makes it threatening, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you try to anti-air her and she staggers you with pin counter hit, it's open time.
Yep.
But that's kind of my philosophy. Not necessarily be conservative with it, but be deliberate. I think with your pin throws.
Yeah.
Make them count.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna have a hard time getting it back. Some people won't let you. Let's see.
Yeah. I would not expect Millia to be the one picking up her own pins. You know what I mean? Like, she probably has people for that.
I wish I had a servant to do it for me. That'd be nice. What else do we got here? Yeah, I think that kind of sums up movement and
Cool.
be comfortable with where you're moving around. Use your air movement to bait out, right? See how someone wants to commit to you. Like, you can jump at someone, double jump back, and air dash forward, all in the same jump. So you can,
look at that.
kind of make
Yep.
easy decisions.
The air
about
footsies.
when to go in or when to just back off.
And when you're using pin for like knockdown, or if you've got like a good read on when to use it in neutral, like your strings afterwards generally should account for getting pin back, right?
Yeah, so she can't to pick up pin again. She either has to go on top of it and press down,
Yeah.
or she can use roll 2 into the K to pick it up. She rolls over the pin, she picks it right up. So in pressure strings, like if I throw pin at you,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna try to do a combo into roll or a block string to roll, right? Pick up the pin again, and depending on if you got hit or not, continue with whatever I'm doing, right? But against Millia, that's also something to look out. Pins on the ground, they're gonna want to get it. If they hit you, they're probably gonna roll. And you don't get a conversion off of roll, or off of you don't get a digitalis conversion.
Yeah.
So like if they hit you and you're standing, you get hit standing.
Oh.
You can try contesting after the roll, right? Because that's not gonna combo. That doesn't
Right. Oh.
So you can do something. You can jump away. You can try to take your turn back.
Yeah. But I feel like realistically, whenever if pin is out and you're getting pin and you got the hit or you got a block string or something, like I never see Millias do like roll and then back off. It's always
they just want to go in and knock you down.
Yeah, it's gonna be roll digitalis,
that, yeah.
It's gonna be roll throw, it's gonna be roll lust shaker, whatever it is. I've never seen Millia just roll in, get the pin, and then peace.
Yeah, well, I think rolling, unless the opponent's really passive, I think roll on its own has a lot of recovery.
Yeah, that's true.
So the goal is kind of either to try to like frame trap them with digitalis. This is also if you block this, that's -11.
Yeah.
Like everyone should have a punish for digitalis. It's -11 counter hit recovery. So a lot of people can. May's kind of hard because you.
Maybe run.
Dolphin might work.
I might have to IB it. No.
IB is hard because you lose your charge. I think the best option is like a Dolphin, but if you IB it, you lose your charge. I think you can do it.
Oh yeah, Adapt says maybe 3K.
Yeah. 3K, I think 3K might work.
Yeah. Ooh, counter hit.
It's counter hit recovery, -11. I think what, -15 on IB. It's a level 4 move.
Oh.
So quick anti-melee. It's find a punish for digital.
Yeah.
Never let any melee do this. Even if it's just run forward and get space. In their face. You gotta do something. One last, I guess, Millia tip. I guess this is more for more intermediate Millias, I guess. Once you're comfortable with kind of the disco key stuff, I think everyone should learn a Secret Garden route. This move is busted. Secret Guardian. So the pros gives you like 3 or 4 mix-up attacks.
Yeah.
Right, with that thing out, it hits 4 times.
And it stays out even if she gets hit, right?
It does not go away if Millia gets hit. So you can DP her, you can blitz it, you can't. You can't DP it.
Yeah.
She'll get hit, but you'll get hit by the ball again.
Right.
Unless it's towards the end of the animation. Dead angle will still get hit by it. Burst even if you don't burst early enough, will get hit by it. So it's really good for. I mean, once they're in the corner, if they have to block Secret Garden like 2 or 3 times, they're dead. You should not do it if they have burst because it's an easy burst point. So that's not a combo. But if they don't have burst and they don't have meter contested, it's a really good option. It's like the level 2 Oki. right?
And you need like a really good knockdown to set it up, right?
The downside is it has really specific combo routes that you need to set it up properly, right? Because this has a lot of, I don't know exactly how much that, but it's a lot. And if you don't have the right knockdown, they can just jump out or even hit you at it. Oops. Ooh, I'll do the easy one. But the general idea is when you combo into or set up disc, you want to hit them with pin while you're on your way down from your jump, and they're like slightly above you. Because what happens is, like if you look at a regular pin knockdown, like the air dash momentum kind of carries me horizontally, and I fall kind of with May.
Yeah.
But if you're going for a secret garden setup, what you want to do is...
I see. You land so much earlier.
You land so much earlier, yeah. So you want to be falling from... And you want to have them slightly, maybe like even or above you. You hit them with pin, and pin kind of floats them for a little bit, but you're still on your way down. So yeah, you land way earlier. And it kind of allows you to set up button. That was kind of fun. But it lets you get like a meaty or close to button, so they can't jump out or anything like that. And then you kind of get to run 3 or 4 mix-ups on them that they have to block. And if they don't block, then it loops into itself.
Well, goddamn.
Pretty strong. But
and yet I don't see...
There are character-specific combos and routes to go into it, but you can kind of make stuff up on the fly. You can improvise in route. It might not be the most optimal or the best positioning, but I mean, it'll get the job done.
So I feel like I don't see that many Millia players use Secret Garden that often. Is it because the setup is so specific? I
think so. Like when I don't go for it, it's because I wasn't thinking about it beforehand, and I autopiloted into a regular knockdown route.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if I'm thinking about it before, and some characters are actually kind of hard. Like the Mei combo, the specific Mei combo is, which you never do outside of this combo. Oh, I did it. Yeah. And there are some other ones that are simpler, but I think it's mostly people not thinking about it until the last second, and by that time, you've already knocked them.
Gotcha. I see. Hey, we got White Beast in the chat. What up, White Beast? Sky, White Beast, Strove, everyone just like, yo, Millia? Millia? Oh, Millia is so cool. I love Millia. I'm about to dye my hair blonde and see if I get as many simps as she does. God damn.
I think that's all I got for Millia tips.
All right.
As Millia.
Sweet. Well, then, what do we do against this terrible woman?
I've got 2 things I want to talk about. The first is burst usage.
Okay.
Bursting in the right spots against Millia, I think, is really important for kind of turning the match momentum in your favor if you do it right. I think a lot of people, maybe beginner, mid-level, still kind of think about burst as just like a combo breaker tool, you know? Which it is, but it's not the wrong way to think about burst, but it's like a one-dimensional way to think about burst, right? If it was just a combo breaker tool, you wouldn't be able to do it when blocking or not doing anything, right? It's more than that. I like to think about it as like it's to get out of a bad situation, right? Sometimes a combo is a bad situation. If you're about to die and this combo is about to kill you, you kind of have to burst.
or I just accidentally hit reset instead, but yeah.
Or you get reset instead. If that's going to kill you, you kind of have to burst. But against Millia, generally the combo is not what's going to kill you, right? She kills you by knocking you down and run protects. And she needs a couple things to do that. She needs the knockdown and she needs the pin, right? So if you think about burst as a way to like deny your opponent their win condition or their really good advantageous position, then you can kind of start. I don't know, it opens up a whole nother dimension to it, right?
Oops.
So I think that the two.
So yeah, in that route, for example, like I could have bursted you after you hit pin, right? Or no? Without
so the two best places I think are in the air combo. That JH right before I throw pin is a good place to burst. So now I don't have pin.
Right.
First, I didn't knock you down. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to deal with the Oki setup. I do not have pin anymore. So if I were to hit you again, I'm not going to knock you down, right? Unless I'm in the corner. So now, like the momentum, even if you have the light exit, the momentum is kind of in your favor. The match state is in your favor, right?
Yeah.
I don't have my pin. I need my pin. I want to go get it. And big buttons to stop me from getting over. Exactly. And in this kind of spot, so the other place to do it is after the pin knockdown. If they're gonna do a disc set,
oops.
You want to like OTG burst.
Ah, okay, got it.
So wait till you fall while I'm setting the disc. Yeah.
I see. And then once again,
same kind of idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, now I don't have my pin. I'm all the way across the screen. You didn't get knocked down. I have to go. Both of them can be baited in certain ways. Using its like a different combo route at the end or backdashing before disc, right?
Yeah.
But as long as you show it at least once, right? You make the Millia kind of think about using a different route that might get her a worse knockdown, right? Or backdashing after or before setting the disc, so it's like not as meaty or way more delayed.
Yeah, it's kind of like bursting Johnny's OTG coins, right? Where you do it to show you that to show the Johnny player that you are at that level, and then they have to play around that.
It's that, and that like bursting Johnny OTG coins is also denied.
Yeah.
Let him get that. So like you ate the combo damage, but really what's gonna kill you is it gets Johnny level 3. So if you deny him that option, then you can kind of maybe swing it back in your favor. So same with Millia. Deny her the pin condition. Don't let her do this.
Ooh. I will say that as a chip player, we have to burst most combos because of the damage.
True. Yeah, chip is like one of the few.
Yeah. But even in that situation against Millia and Johnny, it is worthwhile to burst the coin or to deny coin or to deny pin because the damage contrast between what they have when they have the resources and when they don't is so major.
Exactly. Yeah. Also with bursting, it's also a really good idea to burst early in the round. Like sometimes even on the first knockdown. Because Millia has to hit you a ton of times to actually kill you. If you burst early enough, and if you're a character with like high health, high defense, or low defense rating, high guts, or something like that, by the time Millia is almost going to kill you, you might get your burst.
Yeah, let's see it actually. Just go ahead and just kill May however you normally would.
I'm not doing super runs anymore.
Yeah.
Like she almost has her burst back.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say don't be afraid to burst against Millia, but you should do it in the right spots. Right? She has plenty of ways to burst bait you. Or if you burst her too early, it's like if you burst her like during the air wrap before I throw the pin.
Oops.
Yeah, you got out of the key situation thing, right? And you didn't use much combo damage, but I still have my pin. If I hit you again, if I hit you one more time and knock you down, now you don't have burst.
Right.
And I have my pin, and I get to throw my stuff on you. So, burst early, burst at the right spots. Deny her a pin, and when you deny her, try not to let her get it back.
Yeah.
Look for my pins over there. Like you can camp. Camping it is good, right? If you can be proactive and keep Millia out. The other thing you can do is potentially try to scroll the screen or scroll the pin off the screen.
Right.
If you can move in a way to not let her get on back on the other side. Now I have no way to get back to it, and you don't have, and you can play your game.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to camp it.
Does she have any options to like avoid negative penalty or build meter without moving forward? Like chip teleport,
Millia?
chips
No, she
2TP
doesn't build that much meter.
I see.
In general, she's a character that doesn't build a lot of meter.
Yeah.
She has ways to like knock you down. I think, I mean, if I don't have my pin, I'll try to get it back. But if I can see that the opponent's really good at keeping me out, or not gonna like let me get it back, I'll play without it. Right. I usually play neutral without the pin anyway, as a tool that I use a ton to get in, so I'm pretty comfortable. And in the corner, she has ways. That's not the combo. Or she has ways to get knockdowns, right? Without pin, off some other character-specific routes. Right.
Oh wow.
She has those bad moon knockdowns, but again, it's a weird. It's kind of like the Secret Garden setups, where it's like a really specific route, a really specific positioning you need to get on the character action knock down with bad moon. Otherwise, they'll pop out when they hit the ground. Like this is not a knockdown. You can take that, but that should.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So she has ways to play without it, but I mean, Millias want their pin back.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to go get it. So if they're gonna get it back, if you think they're gonna get back, you should at least make them. I think. Don't let them get it back for free.
Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, so when it comes to bursting, like, as Chip, if someone bursts me off of them, I kind of don't care that much. Like, I think Chip players probably care less about burst baits than almost any other character. Because I'm like, oh no.
You H teleport back in, right?
Yeah, exactly. H teleport or Gamma Wire C teleport or Alpha Blade or whatever. Like, it's, oh no, you're making me play neutral again. That's fine, right? That's where I'm comfortable. But with Millia, I mean, obviously Millia has effective neutral tools, but it's not quite as easy to get right back in there without putting yourself at risk. And
I think that's a good way to phrase it. Like Millia really is, but you don't necessarily want to be playing it a lot, right?
Yeah.
You want to knock him down and run your stuff and kill him. And if you play neutral a lot, like you have less health than the other character.
Yeah.
Right? If you have equal exchanges, but if they burst you off them, right, you have your pin, and you play neutral and you have even exchanges, you're gonna lose. Millia has less health than everyone, especially against like a character like May, right?
And I feel like her tools in neutral are just harder to get like good conversions off of, right? Like
yes, yeah, you don't get a conversion off like max range far slash.
Yeah,
if they're not crouching, you don't get a conversion, right? That you get like this.
Or like how are her air to air routes?
Air to air routes are really good. I think that's also maybe one important thing to learn as Millia is be able to.
I mean, against JH, what you gonna do? But you know.
Yeah. Like Millia's JP is really good because it's cancelable into itself.
Yeah.
So you can just like dash jump across the screen and mash on P, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you might hit them, and if you can convert that into a knockdown, weird body.
Yeah.
But if you can convert that into knockdown, right?
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's pretty risk free, I would think, or low risk.
Yeah.
It's low committal, just jumping forward with a JP.
Yeah.
Right. For your fast recovery, you can block after, you can do air actions after, get out of there.
I think this is the only Millia button, air Millia button that scares me as a Chip player.
Oh, the secret Millia button is JK.
Yeah.
I don't use this enough. JK has 4 frames.
Jesus.
JK is really fast. It hits below her and it hits above her. So you can tag people at higher altitudes than where JP would. But you can't whiff cancel into it. All right, so there's kind of a trade-off. Right? If you're sure, if you can snipe someone, go for JK. If you want to do just kind of mash it and hope they get hit by it, then JP probably the right way to go. But again, being able to convert that into a knockdown. Right? Like if you just hit him out of the air with JP, PP, and then they tech, you got nothing out of it.
Right.
You got some damage, and now they're above you. But if you can do this.
You just got your shit, yep.
You got your inhibition. Let's see. I think that's all about burst.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about H disc.
Mm-hmm.
The big monster. You can actually. Can you switch to Kai?
Yes. Oh. No.
Sandwich saying 4H is the best Millia neutral tool. 4H is actually really good. There's a reason Millia players mash 4H.
Yeah.
It's a 6-frame level 4 move. So even if your throw, quote unquote, OS whiffs, if you hit them or trade with them, you can get a combo or a knockdown.
Yeah. And if your throw whiffs, it's either because you timed it wrong and so they're still in throw invuln, or it's you were off in the spacing, in which case a 6-frame level 4 button is really fucking good.
Sometimes I'll try to tick throw people too. I'll tick throw them and I don't run up far enough.
Yep.
5H, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I meant. Let's see. H disc. Okay. This is the blender.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a big like gatekeeper to the matchup. Like once you figure out how to defend against this,
Yep.
I think you'll survive more in the match, which will let you potentially kill Millia faster, right? Not dying to HS is really important.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to know your options in the situation, right? So you can kind of group disc setups into 2 groups. That they're disc.
Real quick before we get in there, I cannot stress this enough. Like, the goal of defending against Millia is not to get the point where you can react to all her setups perfectly, right? That's not it. The goal is just that you go from like wildly guessing and being wrong like 80% of the time to being wrong like 60% of the time, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're not reacting to this.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone says. Right, 16 frames. Unless you're a god or Pepsi, I guess. Pepsi says
fucking Pepsi.
But yeah, the goal is not to be right every single time, right? Like, if you don't know what to do, you can guess with every single defensive option and be wrong every single.
Yeah.
But if you know what defensive options are valid in each situation, you narrow down your set of options to pick from, and it makes it easier to pick the right answer, right?
Yeah.
You're still guessing in a lot of cases, but even then you can do certain actions or certain options that cover multiple situations, which further increases your chances of survival. So the 2 main kind of types of disc setups are either late disc or midi disc. They're exactly what they sound like. Midi disc the disc will hit you as you're getting up. I don't think that was actually midi. So that hits Kai as he's getting up, right? You can't jump out of that. You have to block it as he's getting up. Late disc is also what it sounds like. The disc hits you late, right? Millia has to hit you first in order to enforce a mix-up. The reason why you would do one or the other, late disc is usually quote-unquote stronger mix-up, but it's not as safe. So the disc doesn't hit you first, right? Which means to enforce a real mix-up, Millia has to meet you herself.
Right.
Right. So it will lose to things that beat meaties normally, right? It'll lose to the right blitz. It'll lose to reversal DPs, reversal supers, all that kind of stuff. But in exchange for that, she kind of gets the stronger mix-up. I'll do bad move, so just block.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so you get to keep going after the bad move because the disc hits.
2 mix-ups. Yeah. So she medias you first, then the disc hits you, and then she gets to do something else, right? Bad move again. Right. So that's kind of the trade-off for the quote-unquote like weaker or less safe set. And then meaty disc is what you would want to do if you want to be safe to certain like reversal options, right? Since the disc is coming down and hitting you when you wake up, Millia doesn't have to be near you, right?
Right.
She can kind of be out of range of whatever you're going to try to do. Let the disc hit you and then run a mix. So it's a safer setup, but it's a weaker mix because she only gets 1 attempt, really, right? Oops. The disc is already hitting you, right?
Here, I'm about to die, so there we go.
The disc is already hitting you, so Millia really gets... But again, she can kind of be safe to whatever she wants to be, but she does kind of have to choose what she's targeting, right? Like maybe something that's safe to DPs isn't necessarily safe to blitz, or vice versa, right? So you can still get past it with the right option. The situations in which these come up, I would say mid-screen, late disc is more common.
Yeah.
Late disc happens off of 2D dash disc, right? Or like 2D roll disc is really late. Throw is also late disc. What else? If she does an air combo into pin knockdown mid-screen, this is almost always meaty when she does that dash disc. That's like the only time usually mid-screen you get meaty disc. In the corner, almost everything is meaty disc. In the corner, if she does either S pin or H pin into disc, that's meaty. The only things that wouldn't be meaty would be the same stuff like 2D. is late, throw is late. And if they do like hair car ender into dash dip.
It's late. Okay, yeah.
So being able to like recognize each of these situations and whether will help you kind of pick your option set, right, for defense.
That's really cool. I like the way you break this down because I know that there's a difference, but it didn't really occur. I never thought through like the defensive ramifications of this, right? Like to me, the deepest that I got was like, oh, what's going to hit me first? Because that's the thing that I should worry about. And I know from doing Millia Oki myself that there were late disc and meaty disc setups, but it didn't occur to me how different, how they're good at different things, right? How they create different situations that as the defender, if you can understand what the fuck is going on, like, oh, I'm getting hit in this route, which is probably going to lead to a late disc. And so these are the options that I should have on my mental stack, right?
Exactly. I will also say all late discs not make cool. You're Kai. So this has to do with the difference, which is also really important to know as a Millia player. Not necessarily, you don't really have to know the exact numbers of everything, but you should know like each character, whether they're fast or slow wake up for each knockdown, right?
Yeah.
Face up or face down. So as Kai, so 2D and throw are both late discs, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna do meaty bad moon. Just hold up back.
All right.
Or actually, let me do 2D first. So Kai gets out of that easily.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can tighten it up. Yeah, he can jump out of that easily. I'm gonna do throw, which is also late disc. Just hold up back. Oh, missed it. Oh.
This is the curse of the live demo. Trust me, I get you. Oh.
Does this work on Kai? Maybe not Kai. Maybe someone else. Can you switch to Soul?
Sure.
I know this works on Soul, but basically what I'm trying to demonstrate, like they're both throw and 2D disc are both late disc setups, but throw is a better late disc setup than 2D.
Gotcha.
Because on some characters, depending on the wake up timing, some characters throw knockdown enables meaty TK bad moon. So again, I'll do 2D.
Oop.
So Soul can get out of that with throw.
Yeah.
Right? So even being able to recognize the difference between the two different types of knockdowns, right? Whether it's throw or 2D late disc is really important. And also as a Millia player, understanding what knockdowns, right?
And so, as the Millia player, are you keeping track of those kinds of knowledge checks when you're running mix on someone? Are you like, oh, they've shown that they're willing to do this, or that they know the mix well enough to up back on this one? Like,
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
If someone shows me that they'll like this is a really common one, right? Like some people still get hit by this.
Oh yeah.
Like the mid-screen cross up off of 2D.
Yeah.
Is not real. That you can easily jump out of that. It's very late. Right? Even off of like throw. Like you can just got crossed up, but you were able to jump out.
Yeah.
If I see someone is getting hit by that often, I can tell they don't know the matchup or they don't know the H.
They don't know the mix.
Stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it just lets me do whatever I want. Like even this setup is not real. That turbo fall I go for a lot. That's also late disc, right? But again, I guess you have to think about the whole set of options, right?
Yeah.
Millia could meet you with 2K. She could do bad moon. She could try to cross you up with it, right? So understanding what you can do in each kind of situation is
I mean, when you're blocking Millia, like how much or how detailed is your defense?
I try to be very proactive about recognizing what setup is and I can do.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have a clip later against Sky.
Sweet.
Really mirror. so we can talk about Millia from both sides. But I'll kind of talk through my thought process about blocking Millia as well.
Oh, sweet. Well, I'm excited for that. Because I know, like, playing against Millia... So the furthest that I've gotten in Millia defense is, like, I did enough of her Oki to be able to recognize, like, a basic set of possibilities. Stuff like, is this disc meaty or not, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll use stuff like screen position to just give me cues on what I think they're going to go for, right? Like, if I'm close to a corner, they're probably not going to cross me up, right? Unless they're closer to that corner, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't have to worry about the left right there. Cool. Then I can focus on the high low, and at the very least, then I have restricted the set of options from, you know, guessing in 4 ways to guessing in 2 ways. And well, Millia's probably also not going to throw me after a knockdown, like, or at least the tick throw setups are usually going to come after the disc. So cool. Let's focus on the high low, and that's how I like reduce the possibilities. But you are applying obviously a much finer lens to this, right?
Yeah, I guess macro wise.
Yeah.
But in the moment, like when I knock you down, I've already decided what mix up.
Right.
And I think from the defender's perspective, I think that should also be kind of the way you I guess approach it, right?
Yeah.
Like once you recognize what the mix up is, and you know what your options are, right?
Yeah.
It's late disc, I can do this. It's meaty disc, I do this. Like just commit to something. Because it's as much of a guess as any, right?
Right.
I'm also guessing.
Yeah.
I'm doing it's in my advantage, right? Because I could do mix that covers certain things or other options. But at the end of the day, I've already committed to what I'm going to do. So you should just commit to what you're going to do.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
But you should select from a set of options that is, I guess, that will work, right?
Right.
Or give you the best reward.
Yeah, if the defender is just thinking, oh, this is the time where I DP or this is the time where I blitz, and they're not thinking about, is this a situation where a DP or blitz would be good, then yeah, you've got them right where you want them.
Yeah. Millia has, against Soul, Millia has like multiple DP safe setup. If you're not recognizing it and you're just DPing into it, you're gonna die.
Yeah. Damn, this Soul has long blonde hair too. Look at that.
The blondes. So late disc, I think, again, is the most common. I guess the most often, just because of the nature of how she gets her knockdowns. So you can do a lot of stuff against late. Obviously, you can just block if you don't know what to do, or you think you can guess right. If you're gonna commit to block, ideally, well, if you're gonna commit to block, you should just FD it. So don't FD. I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'll do TK back in. So she's right there, right?
Yeah.
If you FD her, oops, Sadman. Look how much farther she is, right?
Yeah.
That's much farther she has to run in to do her sec. So if you're gonna commit to block, you should always FD. If you're real nice, what you can do is FD Millia and the first hit of disc, and IB the second hit of disc.
Oh.
Gives you the most pushback on Millia. Oh, nice. And then it reduces her frame advantage from the second disc.
Okay.
That's like if you have the execution to do that, you should do that if you're gonna block, right?
Can like, would that actually be? I don't know what the frame situation is like on that block. Is this like we're talking the difference between punish and no punish, or block to put?
No,
okay,
she's still advantage. She's still advantage.
All right,
sure.
But just at that range, she's not making anything happen.
But yeah, at that range, she has to go in, run in farther to and her option set for the second mix-up off of late disc is limited, right?
Yeah.
Like technically everything else, technically she could bad moon you again or hair car you again, but without disc to cover her recovery, it's really dangerous, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like if you block either of those, it's a huge punish. So if you block the first mix of late disc, and you push him out and IB the second hit, right? Like what are her other options? She can like 2K. She can try to do, I don't know, take throw you. But you can at least try to fight back, right?
Yeah.
What else? I guess blitz in this situation is as much of a guess as blocking, right? Because Millia's meeting you, she can go high-low. But if you guess right, it's bigger reward for you. So if you think you're right, if you think you know what they're going to do, blitz is a great option. And if you get hit, then you would have blocked wrong anyway, right? It's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like if you think you're right and you want to gamble, then Blitz is a pretty good option.
Yeah, and actually, go ahead and do the knockdown into the late disc Bad Moon.
Okay.
Okay, so that cost me about 20% meter, right? I guess that's more like 15%, something like that. So there is a notable difference between messing up a blitz and messing up and just FDing, but
true.
It's also not that big, right?
But again, if you got hit with the blitz, you're gonna get hit blocking anyway.
Yeah. Hey, what up, Keeb? Thanks for the 24 months. Appreciate it. God damn, 24 months. Can you believe that? I got a Potemkin playing Guilty Gear for 2 years. Yeah.
So if you recognize a really bad setup, or if you know your character's wake up timings, like Soul has pretty fast face down wake up. I think it's 20 chart in front of me. Soul is 21 frame face down. It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Millia, like we showed before, right? If you could jump out of TK Bad Moon.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually if you're Soul, you can mash 2D. Right? Like
this fucking character, god damn.
Understanding that is an option makes Millia a lot less scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're Soul and you get knocked down by this, it's not that scary. And disc also goes away on block. So if you think the Millia is trying to bait like a DP or something by just holding down back,
yeah.
If you 2D them, the disc goes away and you don't have to deal with it. You can like gunflame or something, right? But recognizing like this is not a good setup.
Yeah.
And really all the Millia can do is like PK.
Yeah.
If you're not being super respectful is huge. It opens up a whole like set of possibilities that you can explore.
Strobes is in chat saying you can't show them this, cut the stream. We don't even have any Soul players, all right? I guess we got Davo. He probably already knows. What Soul player doesn't know that you can mash 2D on Wake Up? Fuck out of here.
CT, whenever I play CT Soul, he always, like whenever I roll, he's always ready with mashing 2D. Bloop. It's a good button.
I can't do any reaction tests on that guy. He just always fucks me up. I've leaf grabbed bears more than I've leaf grabbed CT. Probably even Daymendo too. Yeah.
Let's see what else. So even off, throw you can't do it. Throw is a better, but the other options.
Don't tell me what to do.
Are like you can fuzzy guard it, right? Fuzzy guarding is pretty good in this kind of situation. Like 1-4-1 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Gold Burst is pretty decent if you really don't want to get or have the mix. And let's see, Dead Angle I think is a little bit risky because you have to block the first to be able to dead angle.
Yeah.
Right. But it can get you out in that situation. Super also is a decent option if. But understanding like what your option set is in that situation, in that situation, is super important, and it's important to rotate your options too, right? Because if as the Millia, if I see you DP'd once, the next disc setup or the other one, the second one or whatever, I'm probably gonna try to do DP safe.
Yeah.
Right. And if I'm covering DP, I'm probably not covering.
So
that gives you your options.
Does backdash in general like work against Millia Oki at all? I always feel like her stuff's too deep.
Depending on positioning and depending. You do it as Chip a lot, I think. Chip has a pretty fast, or I think it's an average face down wake up, but he has a decent backdash. And if I don't space the disc very well, if you're there, backdash can get you out.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm deep in on you, you might.
Yeah.
Or you have to block it or something.
Yeah.
Right? But backdash is an option, I would say. And then again, like the second hit or the second mix-up, if you block the first one, right? It's I would say it's a much less scary mix-up. Right. And once you block that, you're kind of home free at that point, right? Millia doesn't have a lot of tools that are plus, buttons that are plus, or ways to create plus frames without meter.
Right.
So she's gonna have to do something to reset pressure, right? Either dash back in, or jump cancel, air dash at you, right? Try to tick throw you. and that's kind of your window to leave. Let's see.
I never noticed that Soul is like. It looks like he's like cupping his hip while he walks
He
here.
has a sassy hand. On
Yeah.
Old Frederick.
All right. Should we get to your clip review?
Oh, I was gonna go over late disc.
For sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Meaty disc. Meaty disc is a little simpler. Like generally the Millia is gonna do it when they save from DP or save from any kind of reversal. Usually the mix-up is gonna be like some kind of air dash mix-up, right? High-low, that kind of thing, like air dash or land low. You can do all the normal stuff like reversal, or you can try to reversal if you think they're covering some other things.
Yeah.
But I think one of the big things to know about this is because it's meaty, the way Blitz works with projectiles. So if a projectile and a normal hit on the same frame, the projectile always takes precedence. So you always blitz the projectile. So off of a meaty disc or whatever, if you high blitz, she can't hit you with a low.
Wow.
Because the disc and the meaty would hit on the same frame.
Same frame, right? Yeah.
So the disc always takes precedence. So blitz is all probably a pretty good tool. Meaty disc.
Do you ever like delay the low a little bit to specifically debate blitz there? I'm thinking about how it works
disc,
with like the
Zato.
Zato.
No.
Yeah.
If the disc is meaty, then the blitz will catch the disc every time. And then Millia will get rejected, right?
Oh, I guess you would have had to delay the disc. I'm thinking about the Zato unblockable, you know? Simultaneous high-low, and how on the same frame, I think you have to...
The projectile takes precedence. That's why the low always hits.
Right, so you have to blitz low. But then if you're like a frame off, right? If you're a little late on the mine explosion, then the meaty, the high hits first, and so you have to blitz that instead. Yeah. But I guess it's probably harder to mix that timing up than it is for Zato.
Yeah. But I think generally that's kind of the thing you want to. The Millia is trying to be safe from some kind of reverse. Blitz is an option. The other one is block because you only have to block one mix-up, right?
Gotcha.
But yeah, being able to recognize what's what in what situation it's going to save you against disc.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for running through that. For anyone who's coming out from the west coast of Frosties, you're about to enter the land of Millia and Honeys. So fucking be ready for that Millia shit, because White Beast ain't the only one out there. I gotta remind people are like, oh yeah, the Millias, there's like Teddy Treebark and there's White Beast and I think Sim's still out there, you know. I'm like, no, there is a legion of Millias out there that you don't know, that you haven't heard of. You don't recognize their tags because like they don't net play or whatever, and they just roll up. Like there's a Millia on every block. I remember seeing entire, you have pools at like a quadrant of setups. I have seen setups with multiple Millia mirrors going on just because there's so many fucking Millias out there. Yeah, it's something else, man. All right.
Like both heaven and hell. So I don't want to see anyone get hit by a cross-up disc off of I'm going to test it out tomorrow.
That's what's up. You lecture, make sure everyone... Wow.
That's the test.
Yeah.
I gave you all the answers. Now you just got to...
All right.
Shit, that's going to be on the test tomorrow? What do you say?
Yes, that's going to be on the test tomorrow. You better study. Shit. All right. Well, good thing you have the Rev2 review VOD that you can go over. In the meantime, let's go ahead. I'm going to open up the lobby for games in case people want to get in there. I'll get you in there too. But let's go over whatever the VOD is. I think, yeah. All right, let me check one second.
Got a couple clips.
Cool. I'll pull that up in just a second. I was playing some Answer over the weekend. That character's fun as hell.
Answer, I think, is one of the coolest characters next to it.
Yeah.
Very stylish.
Yeah. Super clean. All right. Lobby is open. We got this one behind a code. It is 7488. So we'll go ahead and get y'all in there. Let me send you the invite. If anyone wants to get started, 7488. But we're just going to run through this replay review real quick. We got it. All right. So we'll start with. Oh, I gotta get this watch together thing up real quick. Gonna create that room. All right. So this one is at. Stop. Bruh. All right. This one's at 131.10.
Naruto, like, it's just that.
Naruto.
Tweet hour right
Always.
now.
Any time
Ron
someone
and
gets a
Lost
clip
Soul.
out of context, it'll be
Staple
me.
of a
Yeah.
Rev Tuesday stream.
That's
talking
right.
Naruto.
All right. Sending you the link to the room. You should be able to drive. I'm gonna turn off the audio so people don't hear my commentary over me. And there we go. It should be open.
Okey-doke. Here.
Yeah. All right. So this is you and Babaloo.
This is me and Babel. Is it at the time?
Yes. Oh, it was. Let me readjust that one sec.
I got it. 131.10. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. This thing doesn't take YouTube time codes, I don't think, but here we are.
That is annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, this is me and Babaloo and a Rev Tuesday. I picked this because I think the way Babaloo uses burst in this matchup is like textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Bursting at the right point, camping the pin, you know, that kind of stuff. So I just kind of wanted to show that off, what that kind of looks like in match. Can I scrub with the arrow keys?
I think so. I don't remember if it's any good. Like, it might scrub too big.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
So I throw pin here, right? I was trying to get out of the corner. Throw pin here. I don't have it. It's somewhere under my meter. Oh, there it is. But that
burst, yeah.
Babaloo recognizes I don't have pin. I hit him with close slash, right? And pin's right in front of me. I want to go for the knockdown. I'm going to 2D and set disc and pick the pin back up. Babaloo recognizes this, bursts immediately, and then look at what he does. He just sits there and presses 5H, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to like catch an air dash maybe, but I mean, I managed to get in. But that's kind of like what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
Like at this point, the whole match has turned from I'm going to try to hit Babaloo, knock him down, run the Oki, to I need to get that pin back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of in control. He can kind of just sit there, do whatever he wants, and I have to make something happen, right? And he has the life lead.
Yeah. He just gets to sit there, right?
He just gets to sit there. I have to approach him. He can react to whatever I'm doing and keep me out. Also, he bursts at 86 seconds in the round, very early, right? First knockdown.
Yeah.
I didn't even knock him down.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of health. He could stance if he wanted to just build some extra burst meter. Like, yeah, I love that. Oh.
If it uses YouTube commands, period and comma will do frame by frame.
Oh.
I don't know if that works for this.
All right. You might be able to do some scrubbing with period and comma on the frame by frame. You can try that if you want. All right. Babaloo running the mix. Also, Cemo, you still there? Oh, did we lose him? Fuck.
Test.
Oh yeah. You are still there.
All
Okay.
right, sick.
Cool.
I was saying,
Sorry.
Babaloo burst super early,
Yeah.
right? And by the time the round is over, he has his burst back.
Yeah.
Even if he loses the round, he has the burst for the next round. He could come, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's where if he waited till later in the round to burst, he would not have burst back by the next round, right? And if I get him in a bad situation, it could be over. So having that sense of mind or presence of mind to burst early, burst at the right time. Let's see. Did he burst? When did he burst?
Oh yeah.
Again, another situation. I don't have pin.
Yep.
I don't think that was gonna be a Babu knockdown. But for him, it's like, why even guess? I had the meter, I could have done it.
Yeah.
But just get me away from the pin and now just camp it, right? That time he got me. I had
Yep.
to spend my burst. to get the pin back. Let's see.
God, I love how measured Babalu is in his movement too.
Yeah, he's very precise, and
Yeah.
he's willing to just sit there.
Yeah.
Like not moving is also a sign of good movement, I think. Sometimes.
Yeah. No, you know who else is willing to sit there and often walks a lot?
You.
Daemendo.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
Right. It's like they could do anything at any time, but they're just sitting there,
Yeah.
walking you down. What are you gonna do? It kind of forces.
I got
It spooks you a little bit and forces a reaction.
Yep.
You might do something dumb. Let's see. There are a couple other points here.
Even like the FD, you do a lot of like short run FD break stuff and it's like it's good, right? It's a good movement pattern to get used to, but it tanks your fucking meter gain.
It does, yeah.
Then you get to the throw and you get the mix, and no one cares. But
So I try to bait. I know Babalu likes to burst at that JH spot a lot.
Yeah.
I try to bait it by doing this JP JH route. I did the wrong pin throw, but that usually baits burst.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But he didn't bite that time. Oh, I guess that's it.
All right.
That's kind of what I want to showcase for that match.
Yeah. All right.
But it's pretty effective, right? Do I just stay in this room here?
Yeah, you stay in this room, and I can pull up the next one versus CT. It looks like. Yeah, bursting. I mean, like we were saying earlier, right? The goal of Millia defense is not to be right every time, right? It's just to be right a couple times more than you would be if you were just raw guessing. Exactly. And bursting is one of those things where like a good burst just means that you get to play the game a little bit longer. And the more that you play, especially playing against Millia, it's like the more that you get to play the game at all, the better off you're going to be, right?
Yeah. Again, she doesn't have a lot of life, right? So the more chances you have to hit her, the better off you'll do. All right, this is CT, CT Kai. I think CT has really good defense.
Yeah.
The way he picks his options when I have disc on top of him is really smart. He understands how the knockdowns work, and there's one I think spot in particular that I'm going to point out that I think was a really smart defensive decision on his part, considering the context. He also plays as Kai, like he plays very, I don't want to say passively, but he just puts out a lot of big hitboxes.
Yeah,
dissuades me from wanting to be where he is. JH, 6P, preemptive JPs, right, to catch me air dashing in, and then I caught.
Yeah, he's never like. He's almost never running in and trying to make contact with you. He's putting a thing in the place he thinks you're gonna be. You know?
Yeah, it's very threatening, but also non-committal.
Yeah.
So this knockdown here, I think, is really good. He picks it's 2D knockdown, right? So it's late disc and not a great late disc. And what he chooses to do is like delay mash 2P. And he stays crouching, which I think is really important. I think sometimes when people see you, even if it's a fake mix-up, if someone sees you air dash over them, they're going to want to stand up reactively, right? Yeah. But he delay mashes 2P and he stays crouching. And if you're crouching, the disc won't hit you until it moves down. It hits you later.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of gives him the freedom, like if you wanted to try to jump, could have. Like the disc hasn't hit him yet.
Yeah.
If he was standing, this disc would have hit him. But because of he'd stayed crouching, he kind of gave himself some extra options. He ends up just blocking it anyway. Blocks my bad moon and punishes. Everyone should always punish if you block a bad moon. It's like minus 11 or something.
Okay.
Pretty bad.
It's the bad on block moon.
Bad on block moon.
Oh.
Let me rewind. That mix-up I did, that one was real. Oh no, this one was really fake. I do this mix-up a lot where I do like near the corner, I'll like jump over you and air dash back. This cross up. But off of air throw, it's like worse than regular in terms of late disc, right? There's plenty of time. He got counter hit with his 5H. He might have been trying to do like a cross up DP or something, and I uncrossed him up. But that generally is not real. But I have him in the corner. I knock him down a couple times. And this situation here, wake up super. I think this is really smart from him. considering the context, right? If we go back to the situation where the knockdown happens right here. So he has meter, I have meter. We both have burst. I don't have a lot of life and he has a decent amount of life. If he chooses to just block the mix-up, it's late disc, so I get 2 mix-ups, right? He can try to block. He'll have to block 2 mix-ups. If either of those mix-ups hit him, I get a combo into another knockdown, and then it's guess for game, right?
Yeah.
The next combo will kill if I hit him.
Yeah.
He could try to DP, which is an option, right? Late disc, I have to meaty him, so he could just DP through my meaty. If he hits me, I probably won't die. I don't know. Millia doesn't have a lot of health, but she could probably survive a DP at this amount of health, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he
hits
DPs, I'd imagine he's RCing to kill, right? And then you have like a burst.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
He does have that option.
Yeah.
I could bait it. Millia has a decent because Kai's DP doesn't hit low to the ground. She can make it whiff with like 2k or something if it's spaced properly. So that's a threat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with super, I think in this situation, if he does wake up super and I block it, my punish combo is probably not going to kill him. Maybe it will. I don't know. And that is also if I hit the punish, right? Because Kai's super can kind of be weird to punish sometimes with the pushback.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in this situation, like doing wake up super, if I block the super and hit him, he's in the same situation. Tried to block the mix up and got hit, right?
Right.
But if he hits me, I'm dead. He wins the game.
Yeah.
I think the risk reward in that situation is skewed heavily to just do wake up super, right?
Yeah. I feel like in a situation like this where I think you called it out, right? Like CT probably gets 2 touches and you probably get 1. And the more conservative play would be to block and only like do a wake up option when you have to, right? When you're 1 hit away. But CT does it 1 layer earlier and it fucks you up. It fucks me up, you know? Like
Yeah. So I think in that situation, being able to recognize, knowing what his options are, and also pick the right one.
Yeah.
Here, 1 of the round, right? If that was a meaty disc setup, I could bait it somehow.
Mm-hmm. Fuck, that's 6p. I hope we get CT back soon, man. This dude is always showing me attack interactions that I never thought I'd see. Adapt asks, did CT go hard in Lumina? I don't actually know. I don't think so. I think he went like 0-2 at the first Lumina local, the first or second Lumina local, and then I don't know if he like kept on grinding the game or what.
Fast forward. There's one spot here. Maybe a minute later.
You got the conversion.
Ooh. Be clicked in here. Oh, it's not like
Are you trying to
skip anymore? Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it has its own keys or something. It's weird.
You can do playback speed. Nice. A little faster.
Millia players be like, yeah, no problem.
A little faster. There's this one spot that I want to show, like being able to right there. She can actually dash under. Obviously, you can dash under like Kai Fireball like that, but her dash actually low profiles. She can dash under, HCL. She can dash under Faust's Far Slash. She can dash under May P Dolphin Set.
What the fuck?
So knowing, like, if you know that, it can make matchups a lot easier.
Yeah.
By just like running at them sometimes.
That's fucking hilarious.
A good example of Millia's superior mobility.
Scalpel, Dolphin Set, Ram Helicopter Super, Raven Orb. God damn.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
And it's not like at a specific frame in the dash. It's just her when she's
full speed, when she's doing
Yeah.
the Naruto run, you know.
Yeah. I love that she gets the ninja run out of everybody.
I think in general, yeah. That right there, I think it can't be one. This is good recognition from CT that disc was very late.
Yeah.
He was just right to contest with TP there.
And so the disc goes
Making sure
away
don't give
if you
Millia a free
block,
knockdown,
right?
That is really important. Say again?
The disc goes away if you block?
The disc goes away if I block.
Okay.
I was lucky that I was able to block. That disc was really late. I could have just gotten counter hit out of the disc recovery. But being able to recognize situations like that, know that it's not real.
Oh, and then the air throw of the gods. Fucking CT.
What? I think that's it. I think we can move on.
All right. We had one more clip on deck.
One more clip.
Let's see. It was the Sky Mirror at 90.
DT Warrior.
All right. Let's see. One sec. So we're here. It was at 19 something. Let's see. 1950. All right.
So Millia, so I think that the cutoff for whether or not like 2D dash disc, if she can get a meaty bad moon on you, I think 23 frames. If you're faster than 20, your face down, wake up is faster than 23 frames, she can, or you can jump out as Millia.
Oh.
So I try to take advantage of that in this set. Too early bursts from both of us because we don't want to deal with Millia. Kind of kills her in this matchup. She has all the tools to keep her down, and Millia has no reversal options really. So I go for Secret Garden here. I recognize Sky doesn't have meter and he doesn't have burst, and I get a good hit on him for a Secret Garden. Blocks it all.
Damn, what the fuck, Sky?
But being able to chase like that with JP and convert, again, very important for Millia. So this is another roll disc is very late. It's way later than dash dip. It's easier to do. It'll pick up pin, but you don't get the. So my thought process was I'm just gonna hold up back. Sky does 5K, which has like 6 active frames, which is like the correct answer for that. So
I see.
Caught with like the last active frame of 5K. Look how much damage it did! Oh my god. I choose to hold my burst.
And just so I'm clear, is 2S hits low, right? Or no?
2S hits low. 2S hits low is jump cancelable.
The fuck? This game and its 2S's that look low but aren't. Oh!
So I really like this as a defensive option sometimes. A lot of times with the reversal roll into Digitalis.
Yeah.
It'll catch stuff like someone trying to air dash at you to reset pressure. Or doing a mid poke that doesn't hit low to the ground. But if someone just does like a low or something like low to the ground, I'll die. But it's fun to do, and it's you get a big reward off it if it actually hits. At the very least, you side switch and get a knock.
Ooh.
I tried it. That was like the same situation as Babbly, right? In the first game we watched, threw the pin and I was looking for the 2D, or I just didn't want to deal with the mix-up, right? But Sky sniffed it out.
Yep. It wasn't the worst for you. Like, the biggest cost that you end up paying there is that it's going to take you longer to get your burst back.
True. And he didn't have the pin, right?
Yeah.
He didn't pick it up immediately. So.
I guess this is round 3, so it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was a missed punish. I beat the Digital.
Yeah.
-14 counter recovery. I think I was supposed to do 6.
Is that 6H or IDJH? What were you trying to do there?
I think I might have been trying to do IDJH, and
I see.
but I was looking for the Digitalis punter specifically.
Get some knockdown.
That mix-up is not real. It looks very scary, the Heracard YRC JK, but there's no real mix-up because after the Super Flash, the JK has to hit first, right?
Yeah.
I can't do a low fast enough for them to hit close to the same frame. So as soon as you see the YRC, you just stand block. Maybe I shouldn't try to do the gimmick mixes on other Millia players. Let's see. So that was another, I think, roll disc knockdown. This time I think I fuzzied. The first time I just tried to hold up back. This time I tried to do like 171 and it got me out. But pretty much on every knockdown Sky gets, where it's like a 2D knockdown, I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to not block.
Yeah.
Or only block for like a frame.
I see you using FD a lot too. Like when you have to block.
It pushes her away. And the farther away she is, right, the more time she has to take moving.
Yeah. Ooh, the burst.
Gold burst is a decent option against late disc again, right? Because if you time it right, it'll go through the meaty.
Oh.
Oh, that was good. I didn't know I was I thought I was in the corner.
Gotcha.
I tried to do wake up winger. Sky crossed me up and it came out as a
Secret Garden, right? Yeah.
And he picked up the pin. FD in general is good against Millia's pressure, even not disc Oki. Like when she's just trying to has you in block streams and stuff. FD's really good because she's usually doing like 2K, 2K, 5K, 2K kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So it'll push her out a lot.
Push that really far away.
Yeah. It probably fucks with your like dash up throw spacing too, huh?
Exactly, yeah. Like sometimes I either have to dash in further, which means you can probably mash.
Yeah.
Or I'll miss the throw, but I might hit you with foliage. Yeah, see that situation? I think I fuzzied Pierre, but I'm FD.
Ooh.
Look how far away Millia is when I block that bad move.
Yeah.
And I can just kind of get out easy.
Oh, the deep JH.
Oh,
hey.
The missed disc. Happens to everyone.
Oh.
Again, Millia JP is a good move.
It's a really good move.
It's really, if you think they're gonna jump, I was looking for a jump here, so I just jump forward and mash.
Yeah,
this guy was looking for the same thing.
Now I run into that situation against Millia's all the time, but I keep on forgetting that her JP is so good that they'll just mash it, and so I end up doing like a Gatling into something else, and then loses to the next JP.
Yeah, you have to do something fast, and if she goes into JK, JK is like 4 frames. So
still fast.
That'll probably beat whatever you're trying to do next.
Oh,
Disc YRC or S Disc YRC is a really common tool to use as Millia. Like if you're gonna YRC to slow things down, you might as well hitbox around you.
Yeah, I get so annoyed by that because I'm like, I think of it like YRC Gunflame or YRC Gamma Blade, right? But it doesn't move forward, so it's not actually controlling more space. The thing that it does do is it blows up my instinctive teleport.
Yes, yeah. It's really good at slowing it down, and if they're in the wrong spot, they'll get hit. Cool throw combo. I do the OTG burst. I think Sky could have blocked backed it.
Oh,
this is with the mix. Sky blitz there.
Yeah.
This was a late disc setup, right? Blitz is as much of a guess as blocking is, but he gets a good reward. He probably could have won the game, maybe, if he guessed right, but he guessed wrong.
I do appreciate that when I ask people to pick out clips to go over for Rev2 review, they'll usually pick a couple like, oh, this is a really good moment, this is a good play, and then they pick like one of their biggest dubs on stream, and I'm like, hell yeah, feel yourself a little bit. That's what's up.
Yeah, flex a little bit.
Hell yeah. No, I was super proud to see you win that mirror. I mean, I'm sure Millia.
The first time I beat Sky tournament, maybe.
That's
the Millia mirror is very volatile.
Sky beat me like 4 times in tournament before I took it before I ever took it off of him. So that's what's up. Fuck Sky. All right. Sky beat me at Evo and Anime Ascension. You know how much I paid to travel to those tournaments? That shit not cheap. All right. Cemo, thank you so much for coming through and sharing the knowledge. I really appreciate it, homie.
Thanks for having me on.
That's what
I don't want to see anyone getting hit by fake Millia mix.
I mean, that's not true. What you want to do is you want to see people get hit by fake Millia mix and be like, I told you, you shouldn't get hit by that. That's why Bears has so much shit on his YouTube channel. It is entirely motivated by spite and telling people that he knows better and you should just listen to him. Trust me. You can ask him. I want
people to block the mix so I can do the cool level 2.
Yeah, there we go. That's what's up.
I'm stuck on level 1.
Yeah, that's real as hell. You're like, I want to show you the really cool stuff.
I want to show you my cool fuzzies.
That's right. All right. Well, oh man, and this is the part in the stream where Zwei discovers that he's actually older than Pepsi. Time is a flat circle. All right. We got this lobby open. We got me in here. We got Sky. We got Espada. We got Cemo. We got Hype for Sliced Bread. We got Sword Railer. And we got Chastity. There's space for one more person. Sky out here like, wait, hold up, what? There's space for one more person. How old is Pepsi? He's about the same age as Wipe, like minus a year, I think. They're both like 23, something like that, I think. Somewhere around there.
Younger than I thought.
Yeah. You do not correlate ability in Guilty Gear with like literally anything other than ability in Guilty Gear. It does not correlate to wisdom. It certainly does not correlate to intelligence. Definitely nothing close to. Nah. It is what it is.
It means they've been playing illegal underage guild.
That's right. That's really all it means, that they've been playing illegal.
And will be playing illegal underage guilty.